Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a series that I had such fun reading. It was such a good time reading it. Copper Coins. All 3 books are out. The series is finished and I enjoyed it. This series is such a good stress relief. While I was reading it, it was so easy to forget all the bad things that were happening, at least for the moment. The characters were so funny. It was so fun to read about these characters. And Copper Coins is a good palate cleanser. So if you just read something dark and heartbreaking like Husky and his White Cat Shih Tzu or Remnants of Filth, Copper Coins is just something you can read and relax in and I guess recharge so you can continue Erha. This series is fun, but it doesn't make you think too deeply about certain things. The cast of characters is very small and they only have one name, and it's not too heavily political, so unlike something like QJJ, there isn't really a whole lot of moving pieces to sort of keep in your mind. This is a kind of found family story where a group of very eccentric characters, they travel together to solve a mystery. And as of right now, this is in my top 5 because this is definitely a series that I will be reading again when I just want something relaxing to read and I don't really want to like have to think about a whole bunch of stuff or keep track of a whole bunch of stuff. And it is so nice that this series is only 3 books, because if you've read Danmei for a while, you know that the series typically have at least 6 books. Erha has 11, which is way too much. But these series usually go on for a while, so it was kind of refreshing to read a series that only had 3 books. Copper Coins, the series, it doesn't really have a whole lot of angst. There are some like scary horror elements because one of the main mysteries of the books is that one of the main characters, Xue Xian, has gotten his bones stolen. He is an immortal dragon god and he got his bones stolen and he doesn't know who stole his bones, so he's trying to find his bones as well as the person who took them. So there's a kind of graphic element to it. There's also a whole lot of ghosts, which I love because I am a horror lover, so it was so interesting and so fun to have sort of fantasy and this magic system, but also have these sort of ghost, haunted location, haunted houses sort of atmosphere to this series. And then you have the other love interest, Xuanmin, who just happened upon Xue Xian. And Xuanmin is a monk who doesn't have any memories of his past, and he is searching for his memories while also searching for the person who left him a certain note, because he has this note and he just doesn't know what it means, doesn't know where it came from. Basically, the events in Copper Coins are kind of episodic. So Xue Xian and Xuanmin, they travel to this location or travel to one location, then they solve the mystery of that location, and then in solving the mystery they get clues to solve their own mystery. And in any other books, that sort of formula could get kind of boring and repetitive, but in Copper Coins, the characters, they 100% carry this story. Xuanmin, he's arrogant, he's prideful, he's shameless, he's an immortal dragon god who has not interacted at all with mortals. So combine that with him being shameless means that he just acts a certain way that is so hilarious and so not how you would act around people, but he just doesn't know that, and he also doesn't care because he's a dragon god. So he is kind of just unapologetic about being just this absolute ball of chaos. He just causes mess and destruction wherever he goes, and he does not care because he is the immortal dragon gods, and like, what is anyone going to do to him, you know? And he is so fun. He is is so hilarious. And at the beginning of the series, he is basically in this like little paper form, and even as a paper form, he is still causing all kinds of chaos. And then eventually he takes on his dragon form. Whenever he wants to go somewhere, he just transforms, just snatches his companions and just flies off, scaring them to death because they are not expecting to be caught up in the claw of a dragon and swooped across the land. And then you have Xuanmin, who is sort of very stoic and doesn't like show a whole lot of emotions. A lot of things don't really affect him, and he's a very interesting contrast to the chaos that is Xue Xian. Xuanmin knows how to steer Xue Xian without getting like swept up in all of his like chaos, but he also just spoils him. Their interactions are just so adorable, so heartwarming. I just love the dynamic between these two because they somehow just work. They remind me a lot of Lan Zhan and Wei Ying from Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Copper Coins is a very slow burn romance. Even by book 3, there is barely any hint of like a romance. So you can see Xue Xian becoming more aware of Xuanmin. He trusts him, he wants him to be around. He is also having thoughts that if he can spend all of his days just being with Xuanmin, that would make him so happy, that would be so peaceful for him, because he is this immortal dragon who's been living for centuries upon centuries, and he didn't interact with mortals at all. So he is aware of these emotions, but he doesn't put a name to it. And then for Xuanmin, you do see him really falling in love with Xue Xian, and it's basically how he spoils him more and more and more. You see how he's slowly just opening up to Xue Xian. And the final book doesn't have any extras, which was kind of interesting and also kind of refreshing, because although I do like extras in Danmei, it can be a bit frustrating when like 30-40% of the final book is plot and the rest of it is just extras. So it was nice that for the final book it was basically all just plot. I love the art style for this series, and I wish 7 Seas would maybe make the illustrations from the books available as posters or postcards or something, because I would love to buy the artwork because the illustrations for this series are so beautiful. And just a funny side note, Xue Xian kind of looks like Liu Bingha from Scum Villain. And the series ended on this really like beautiful passage. Within this bustling mortal world, we ask only for this, that debts be repaid, kindness be returned, promises be honored, and love be cherished. May the seasons and weather be kind, and may the land enjoy lasting peace. Then this would be a life without regrets. That is such a nice ending, and we got to see some of Xuanmin's and Xue Xian honeymoon moments and how they are living together in their seclusion, and they're just so adorable together. Like again, I would 100% read this story again, and I highly recommend Copper Coins if you're just looking for something fun and like stress-free to read. So has anyone else read the Copper Coin series? Let me know what you thought.